Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Condor ötzi knife. So basically, a few years ago, just some history on the knife. A few years ago, some hikers in Italy found a body half frozen in ice. And some scientists discovered that this was the body of someone who's thousands of years old, like frozen in ice, obviously, and he was perfectly preserved in the glacier, and as was his knife. So Condor decided, let's design a knife off of the knife that this ancient man was carrying. And this is what they came up with. So for starters, I've had this knife for about a month, and I've taken it car camping once, and I've taken it on a canoe trip once. Now, car camping, I barely did anything with the knife. It was just on my waist. But on this canoe trip, actually on the last day, there was this huge thunderstorm right before we were gonna canoe out of the last lake. I know. And we ended up having to, not do that immediately. A nice family in their cottage invited us into their screened-in porch. It was very nice of them. But to beach the canoes, one of the canoes started floating away, so I had to wade in about chest deep, and my knife was on my waist. And again, after we did get back in the canoes, to stop the canoe from hitting rocks on our way into the output of, into the parking lot basically, I had to jump out again around chest deep so the boat wouldn't hit some rocks. So it was completely submerged in the leather sheath, and it rusted a little, but not very much. Sorry, there were some people walking by. So anyways, it was completely submerged in water for at least 60 seconds. And it did rust on the edge, but only a small layer. Right on this edge, and it just sanded right off. And yeah, so the handle material is hickory, the wood, and I know it looks like it's been wrapped on with string, but it's actually epoxied on. It's a half tang, I believe, and they put it in, epoxied it, and this is actually some wire that I believe is just for show. And it's a small knife. The blade is about 2 inches, the handle about 3 inches, and I have pretty big hands, but it still fits real comfortable. So I've been happy there. The sheath is fit-formed leather, and after it got wet, I just kept the knife in there and till it dried, and that actually helped with retention. After taking it in and out all that week on the canoe trip, the retention was starting to loosen up, because the leather was stretching, but it's back. It's not gonna come out. So the retention's good on the leather sheath, and when it came, it had a braided leather lanyard to wear as a neck knife. I wasn't a huge fan, so I just got some paracord and looped a carabiner around, and then I keep my ferro rod looped on this one. It has a 90-degree spine, kind of. It'll strike a ferro rod, but not very well, so I'm probably gonna file the back, or you could run it over a belt grinder if you have one, a belt sander, whatever works for you. The blade is 1075 carbon steel, so it's a bit of a softer steel, and it is a carbon, so it kind of rusts more easily than stainless, but it's also a little harder than most stainless steels. And again, the rust just came right off with a piece of sandpaper, and sharpening it is easier. And also something that you don't see on most knives, except Mora, is the edge actually goes right to the handle. So there's no little dimple between the edge and the handle. It is sharp all the way from the tip all the way down to the handle, which is something I like, because you can work real close to the blade. And it's 1/8 of an inch thick, and yeah, it's just a really nice little knife for, very utilitarian and nimble for anything you have to do with it. Not a huge carver, but I did carve a little spatula with it. It works. It's a knife, you know. It's Condor. It's a trusted company. And the way they ship it is it's just in a plastic little thingy, and the sheath is in a plastic little thingy, so it doesn't stretch in the mail. And overall, very happy with this knife. And I would recommend it for anyone who doesn't mind a shorter handle. Sorry, more people walking by. So yeah, anyways, if you don't mind a bit of a shorter knife, and I personally like a bit of a shorter knife, it's really good. Oh yeah, and it's a hammer finished blade, so it's got those cool rivety type deals. I don't know, I think it looks pretty cool. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and also a comment if you have any questions about the knife. If there's anything I missed, just let me know, and have a nice day, I guess.